everyone. No battery. No bueno. There we go. Good morning, everyone. So, we have two Hamlin orange. Get it together. We have two sweet Hamlin oranges. Here they are. And the wind has been knocking them over, so we're going to get them planted. I have two. These are called rope handling tubs. I use them as planters, and so do a lot of other people. Not my idea. I just borrowed it because I found out it works. So I'm going to put holes in this thing, and we're going to plant these things today. Yes, Earth Day is coming up, so we're going to plant some trees. We are going to plant some trees for a couple of days. I have a couple of them. I have two Hamlin right here, and then I have a couple of them out there. I think one or two can go on the ground. We'll definitely do one on Earth Day. But let's get to it. Let's plant these two sweet Hamlin oranges. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some holes in the bottom of this thing. All right, this is becoming a fiasco. Let's put some in the sides. All right. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. Not exactly. No holes in this one. 1 hole, 2 holes, 3. Okay, I got some holes in here, but not enough. Thank you, Jesus. I'm done with that. All right. So I put holes all along the side, little ones. Then there's one big one in the center. See that? And there's holes around the sides. So let's go ahead and put some dirt in here and get this thing started. That took a long. I have the calamundins over there, and they are sour. This is sweet. And look, I'm gonna bring you closer because there are fruit on here. That's why I was a little afraid to repot it, but I planted the calamundins in there and the fruit did not fall off, so I think we're good. So let's get to it. I'll show you what it looks like now, and hopefully I do not lose any fruit because it is fruit, it's not flowers anymore. So this is what I'm talking about. See that? That is all fruit on this Hamlin orange. And there's fruit on both of them. There's just more on this one than there is on this one. Where did I see fruit on this one? Maybe there isn't any on this one. I don't know. That always happens to me. I get one with a whole bunch of fruit on it. I mean, a whole bunch. Look at that. And then I get one with very little or none. But that's fine. I'm planting them both. I love them both the same. So let's get to it. Okay, so I got some alfalfa pellets. I don't know if it needs it or anything. I think it has enough organic matter. And I got some 10-10-10. I'm gonna put that in there. Then I got some bone meal. Bone meal is for the flowers. Even though they're falling off, I'm still gonna put some in there. I know it might not. Oh, this is blood meal. I'm sorry. Blood meal first. Put a lot of it. Sometimes I overdo stuff. That went quick, huh? My little bag of soil. Mix it up with my hand and break it up. Get it aerated. Aerate your soil, which means you're getting air into the soil. You don't want it all packed down initially. It'll pack down on its own once you water it. Try to fluff it up just a little bit. You don't have to go to the extreme that I'm going, but make sure you mix up. If you put fertilizer in there, make sure you put fertilizer in there, make sure that you mix it up. That's all. That is all. So I've got it in there. I hope this translates on the video. And I'm gonna take the one with the multiple flowers on first. We do a tunnel. And hopefully this thing didn't become root bound because I've had it for a while. Not that bad. Not that bad. I'm gonna disturb. I'm gonna disturb the roots on the bottom and on the sides. Break them up a little bit. You might lose a couple of roots, but it'll be worth it in the end. You just don't want it to go in a circular motion like it is. See that? That's a circular motion right there. You pull that out. Unhinge it. You're gonna see fertilizer on the side. That's what it's used to, and that's what I'm giving it. Fertilizer. See that? There's little pellets on the side. So look at that. I have the roots hanging down. Let's put this right here. Spread the roots out as much as we possibly can. Get this thing a little bit higher. Higher. Not fire. Higher. All right. Here's a little roly-poly on here. All right. Let's get some more soil and get this thing in here. Can you stand up on your own? No, it can't. Let me put it to the side for a minute. All right. So, can't see me, but I can see you. Put it in the center. Be careful with your graft line. Don't grab it where the graft is. Make sure you grab it below that, if you grab it at all. And try to break up the soil as you're placing it into the pot. There we go. Move it all around. Let me get a little bit more blood meal. A little bit more blood meal. A little bit more bone meal. Mix that up in there. Try to get this thing as straight up as you possibly can. Now remember, this is an orange tree and you don't want to bury the roots that much. You want some of the roots to be exposed. So you just want to bring the soil up to where the plant was planted initially. Shallow. If it was shallow when you got it, make it shallow when you plant it. Need a little bit more soil. Clean up this mess. A little bit more soil to make it even. Because this soil that is in here on the sides is going to drop down because there's air in it. We just aerated it. Put a little bit of alfalfa in there. Move that around. I'm not messing with the roots anymore. I'm just moving the soil that we put in here. Okay. Get some more. Some more soil. Don't want too much. We don't want too much. We just want enough for the sides to bring it up level. As I said, it's going to drop down once we water it in. All right. On top, you can see that I have some roots exposed, and that's the way I want it. I'm not burying the roots of a citrus tree. If it's shallow when you get it, which is normally what the citrus tree is going to look like, you make sure you do the exact same thing. All right, the roots will go down, but these roots on top, you let them have some air. All right, that's one down. Moving on to number 2. Bam. The soil here. Put that in. Get your 10-10-10 and your alfalfa, blood meal, bone meal. Ooh. I'm gonna get this in my nose. We're gonna mix that up. Mix it up while you're fluffing it. And I can smell the blood meal. I can smell it. Put a little bit more alfalfa in there. Now this is fresh soil, so it should be good to go. But just in case, I'm giving a little bit extra. So I got 1 bag of dirt out here, and I probably need 2. So let me go and get another bag of soil, and I'll be right back. While I was in the house, I got my dehumidifier. My dehumidifier was full of water, so I'm gonna use this water to water this Hamlin orange that we just planted over there. Free water. Okay, on to the next. So I brought another bag of soil out here. Move these out of the way. Put this over here. And we're gonna put some more soil in here because I don't think this is high enough. That'll work. All right, make a tunnel. What does this one look like? They keep on trying to kiss each other, and that I don't want. The bugs were getting to this one. These snails and caterpillars, and the caterpillars are coming from the butterflies, and they are getting to my trees. Not only my plants, but my trees now. All right, so I got this one out. Let's take a look at the bottom carefully. This one is more root bound than the other one was, so we're gonna rip this thing apart. You see what I'm doing? Taking the roots apart. You do this with any tree that is going in a circular motion. Some of them are worse than others. Some roots grow quicker than others. They can be planted at the same time. It's just like people are different. Every tree and every plant, even of the same species, is gonna grow different and be different in how it grows. So we just adjust and overcome and get these root bound, wrapped up roots separated as much as you can without destroying the plant. And just pulling them apart. There we are. So I think I've done enough. I'm gonna put this here. See how it's looking. How you looking, baby? Mama got you. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. That there is a good looking plant. Is it high enough? Let's see where your roots are. She a little lopsided, but she'll be all right. Now another thing that you may notice of when I buy trees, I buy them by 2s and 3s, no less than 2. I've had experiences. I have a tree right now that I only have one of an Asian pear. So what I'm gonna have to do is either buy another one or clone another one from that pear. I don't know. I've never propagate it from a cutting. But looks like I might have to because the nursery is sold out. So let me fix this right here and bring it closer so you can see what I'm doing. I don't have any fertilizer in this soil right here, so I'm gonna put a little bit of blood meal and bone meal around the sides to help it out. I want my trees to remain happy. Mix it in a little bit, just a little bit. All right, so you see this root is way up here, so we got to fix that. I got to put some more soil in here. Let me close this bone meal because that's the last thing I want is a white dust storm. This stuff is silt level. Glad I'm outside. All right, so here goes my other bag. So this is what I'm telling you about container planting. It costs you more. And the reason why I'm container planting these trees, well, I container plant two types of trees. Citrus, because I struggle in the wintertime with citrus, keeping it, alive during the cold spells. And when I get bare roots, I plant them in a container. Those are the two type of trees. Every other tree, I take them straight from their container into the yard. So the reason why, so I was talking about citrus. So the reason why I plant citrus in containers is because I could drag them either in the house or in the greenhouse to save them and put them near a heat source so that they do not freeze. Some of them are quite cold hardy. I think they said this one was cold hardy. Let me see. But if it freezes, it's either going to pass away on you, way down to the ground, and it's going to, when it comes back up, it's like starting a seedling. I'm speaking from experience. I have plants out there right now that are at least 4 to 5 years old, and you would never believe that's what the age that they are. I'm sure their root structure is 4 to 5 years old, but the plant that is above ground is not. So citrus are very hard to but they will pass away on you if they get too much of a freeze. Most likely they'll come back up as a little seedling though. You'll see a little seedling pop back up. But then, you're starting fresh with less than what you bought. All right, so we got this one in. And you see I got a little bit of root showing, right? That there is done. So I'm gonna stick this in here because I don't want to confuse these with the I could put it right here. I don't want to confuse these with the calamundins. So I'll put it here. I always take the straps off of these trees. They have the little straps that hold this thing up, and that is for shipping. And this thing also will wrap around your tree and become a tourniquet and cut off the circulation. So you want to get these things off. But it's okay to put it on the handle, I think. It's not long enough to get around the tree. See that? You can't put this one over here. Save your pots. Save your pots. You use them instead of buying out 5-gallon jugs. Use them for your peppers. Use them for your peppers and your tomatoes and whatever else you want to put in there. You don't have to buy pots. So here we are. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I hope you all found something new in my video. The main thing is get it up planted as soon. Well, first of all, you need to quarantine these trees for at least 30 days. Leave them in their pots and see if anything happens, anything weird. Anything weird on the leaves besides bugs, which is what happened to these. Quarantine them for about 30 days. Then, when you're buying them, check the roots. I'm gonna bring you closer so you can hear me. So what I was saying was, let me move this out the way, is that quarantine the trees for at least 30 days. Make sure you don't see anything weird. besides bug damage. And this tree didn't look like this when I got it. This is bug damage from my snails crawling up there and getting a snack. Check to make sure there's no bug damage and make sure there's no disease before you get it out of the store. Check it first of all to make sure you don't see any bug damage, and pull it up out of its container and look at those roots and make sure they're not, if they're root bound, make sure it's not really condensed, because it'll look like the bottom of a burnt cast iron skillet on the bottom of the plant. If it's root bound, that's how it starts to look. The roots get so condensed that it kind of turns brown, and sometimes it'll rot. That's another reason why you want to pull your plants out of the container at the store. You know, grab below the graft line, which is this down here. See this? That's the graft line. Move this out the way. See this? This is where it got grafted. That looks like a leg and that looks like an arm, right? They don't look like they belong together. Same thing here. Let's look at this one. Look at that. See that? That's a graft line. That's thicker than this. So this was grafted onto some other plant. So grab it below the graft line and check to make sure that it's not root bound and root rot. If it's root bound, if you think you can handle it, go ahead. But if it looks like the bottom of a frying pan and it's really condensed and the roots are really thick, ask for a discount. And if you buy it, save your receipts, especially if you go to one of the big box stores. They got a guarantee on these trees for a year, at least a year. Some of them are longer. You just show them your receipt and they either give you your money back or give you another tree. It's up to you. I've done it, and they do it at both of the stores that all of the stores that I've tried it. I've tried it at the ones you have to pay for, the one with the C and the one with the S that you pay for, and then the HD and the LO, they will return your money. You just have to bring the plant in. I don't even think I had them in the pot sometimes. I just brought it back, the dried up, shrivel up tree, and I showed them my receipt, and they were like, do you want to go and get another plant? Usually I wanted another plant. And I either got another plant or they gave me my money back. So you want to check to make sure there's no disease. You want to check for root rot, and you want to quarantine it just in case there's some bugs in the plant soil that you didn't see before. It'll show up. Once you get it home, you'll start seeing some weird stuff like on the bark or something. That has never happened to me. Most of the time when I buy a tree from any of those stores, I have never gotten a diseased tree. Thank God. Thank God. I've never brought anything in here so far. Thank God. So when you're planting citrus trees, make sure you expose some of the roots. See that? I did it on both of the trees. This is how it was planted. This is how I got it. And that's how it's going into it. Go ahead and give it some fertilizer if you want. You don't have to. Give it some good soil in a container plant. If you're putting it in the ground, the most I do, and this is when I'm concerned about the plant, is I put some horticulture molasses on it. I put some horticulture molasses in a bucket and I fill the hole that I dug in the soil with horticulture molasses and water, of course. I don't do the ratio. If you want to see the ratio, just buy horticulture molasses. This is molasses. And you know, it says molasses is compatible with most natural biological soil stimulators. Some chemical fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides may reduce the effectiveness of this product. And then they have the directions on here. All right. So I use this, and I use the fish emulsion later on. I do use 10-10-10 because I bought it and I'm going to use it. And of course, I bought some bone meal. Bone meal is for roots, though. Bone meal is usually for root crops, but I'm giving it whatever it needs. What it says, bone meal is an excellent organic source of phosphorus for all types of plants. Bone meal improves early plant establishment, encourages development of strong root systems, and promotes flowering. Let's go into blood meal. Don't put too much of this in, you'll smell it. I know from what I've did it. I've done it. Speak good English. Get your English straight, girl. So it says blood meal is an excellent organic source of nitrogen for all type of plants, including flowering trees and shrubs. So they both do two different things. The bone meal helps the roots, which is what you want to do when you first plant something. Some people say, "Oh, you know, you don't need bone meal for flowering plants or vegetables." Well, when you're first putting them in the ground, you can put bone meal in there because it's gonna help the roots out. And I want my roots to be strong. So some of them, the smaller plants, they usually go into a little bit of transplant shock. That's why, another reason why I have the horticulture molasses there, because that usually fixes it. They're up and running like a little kid on sugar. That sugar will bounce them back. I just do whatever I feel like the plant needs. But for the trees, for my trees, I do it all. Because these trees are not cheap. How much did I pay for these bad boys? $45? I don't even remember where I got it from. I think I got it from the C store. I think they were around 30. Doesn't matter. They're expensive. They used to be, I remember when trees were running about $15, $20. And I was complaining back then. And now look at me. Now eventually I'm gonna have to take these out of the greenhouse, I think, if I can get the strength up. And this is a pot that I bought. This pot is the same size as the tub. Same size. And something, I'm upset because something, I had a Barbados cherry that was hanging, and so, oh, there it is. It's all bit up. Look at that. Ah, man, I'm ticked. That's my first Barbados cherry. It fell off. So this tub has been around just as long as these pots. And it's the same, if not better quality. And it has handles on it so far. The handles might break off after a while, but the tub is normally less money than the pots. So if you want to order them, I had to order mine online. They had them in the store, but they did not have them on the shelf, and they only had 2. I don't know if they're going to discontinue them. I hope not. I really like them. I wanted a sweet orange, and now I have one. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that, though. That's a caterpillar. Caterpillar or a snail. Hopefully it's up high enough because they're not bothering the calamundins. They're fine. So I'm going to have to find a permanent space for this. Oranges can be in direct sun. I just have to get it out there. So that's it. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. And this is the planting of my Hamlin oranges. Oh, Hamlin sweet oranges. Y'all take care. And remember to like and subscribe, all right? Bye.